Alicia, congratulations on your election. Please tell us a little bit about the Washington State Association of County Treasurers.
Thank you. Yeah, it's an honor to serve on the WASACT Association as president. The mission is to provide a forum for all county treasurers. It's essentially focused on education, advocacy, mentorship, and supporting the creation of effective treasury management. And really, it's all focused towards honoring the public's trust. So with that, I was elected in July and just excited to be a part of this great organization.
Wonderful. And you started in July.
I did, yes. The election was held in July, and because of COVID, for the past year and a half, we had not met in person. So that was the very first in-person retreat that we had, and that's where the election took place.
Now, how does you serving on a state association like this benefit the local Clark County residents?
Well, the state writes the rules that county treasurers have to follow. So serving as president of a statewide association allows me to have a seat at the table when statewide policy is being contemplated. So this means I can ensure that Clark County taxpayers have a voice when property tax administrative decisions are made. And then those decisions impact everything from how a taxpayer, everything from like how you can choose to pay your taxes, whether a treasurer can offer a payment plan, they set the interest and penalty rates, how we handle delinquent taxes, the investment of public funds, banking, debt, and so much more. So really having me as the president will help improve the operations of treasury management statewide, but it'll allow our county to have a stronger voice.
Now, for our viewers who aren't in tune to county government, just what is the role of the county treasurer?
Great question. So the county treasurer is an independent elected official whose office serves as a financial arm of county government. So the treasurer is the custodian of all money for the county, school districts, fire districts, and many units of local government. And so really we take in the funds, we hold them in our care, and then we make sure they get distributed to the right place. So treasurer, think about money.
So what are some of the main services provided by your office?
So I break down the office into 4 core areas. So we bill and collect property taxes and disperse funds. And that isn't just for county government. A lot of folks think that I'm the treasurer just for Clark County, but it includes school districts and fire districts. It includes, the library district. So it's much broader. And so essentially when we bill and collect those taxes, we're doing it on behalf of the school districts and the county and the ports. The state schools tax is a big one that people will see on their property tax bill. And then fire district levies we're also collecting. So the number one area I think of is property tax collection for bill, collect, and disperse. The second area is banking. So we are the bank of the county and also for all the independent elected offices, for the fire districts, for the school districts, for the library district. So they are required by law to deposit funds with us, with me, the treasurer. And then the third area is investment. So we're holding these monies. Bond revenue is a really good example. So we'll bill, and a school district went out for a bond and they got approval by the voters. We collect that revenue once we go to sale for that bond. And so we could have $100 million sitting in the bank. So what we want to do is we want to invest those funds to ensure that we're able to get a return, earning interest that will go back to that local government so they can put it to good use. So investment is our third pillar. And then finally, we manage debt. So it's our responsibility to make debt service payments for the county and the school districts and other, as I said before, local government, where I serve as treasurer. And again, that is mandated by state law. So we bill, collect, disperse, we bank, we invest, and we manage debt.
So how have you been doing all this in the pandemic? How have you been able to achieve all these services?
Yeah, like many other businesses and government offices, at first it was a scramble. When the mandate came down to go remote, if possible, we really analyzed our operations and made rapid decisions to send all of our finance team and the majority of our office to remote work. So we closed the joint lobby, and that was a decision made by myself, the Clark County assessor, and the Clark County auditor. We just wanted to make sure that the health and safety of our team and our customers were a top priority. So the operations went remote. I've got 23 individuals in my office, and I only had 3 people in office for a year. We were able to handle all of our calls, all of our tax payments, all of our banking and debt management and financial services 100% remote. And we had a very smooth operation. The only impact I've heard from citizens were individuals who wanted to pay with cash for their property taxes, and there wasn't an option for in-person services. So that was the biggest impact felt, I believe, by the taxpayers. But otherwise, it was a very smooth transition. And moving forward, when all of those restrictions are lifted in terms of social distancing and the pandemic is over, fingers crossed, then I'll actually keep my entire finance team. A majority of them will still work remotely with only 1 day in office.
And are you participating in a joint lobby as well?
Yeah, so the very, very good point. So in July, we decided to open for appointments only. So we have incorporated an online appointment system. So people wanting to get a marriage license, visit about their senior exemption applications, if they want to pay property taxes, mobile home moving permits, real estate excise tax, all of those transactions can be scheduled through our appointment system. And then we do have a few days where we're open in-person services, but very limited.
Okay. Has the state legislature, there's been quite a bit of action. Has there been any recent changes that will impact local property tax?
Yes, and one of my roles as an elected official is to make sure that I'm following state legislation and the legislature, and that bills that are being considered are good bills that are going to help streamline and make our office more efficient and effective and transparent, and also benefit taxpayers. So this last year, there were a few bills that passed that will impact property taxes specifically. One is interest payments on delinquent taxes. So currently it's 12% per year. So 1% per month on the full balance of a property tax statement if someone misses a payment. So the legislature, taking into consideration the very low interest rates, will lower the interest on delinquent property taxes in 2023 to 9%. In addition to that, for single family homes, so not big like apartment complexes or businesses, but for individuals that own 4 or fewer units, 4 or fewer houses, there will be no penalties for delinquent taxes. So that means on June 1st, if someone was still late, they would have been assessed a 3% penalty on the full balance of their tax bill. And then on December 1st, they would be assessed another 8%. So those went away. The legislature really was focused on reducing fees and fines and saw that as excessive. So they just made the decision, and actually all of them, it passed 97-0 in the House and 49-0 in the Senate, eliminated those penalties and reduced interest. That was a significant one that for me and my team, we have to come back and we have to update all of our systems, and we have to redo all of our tax statements with the disclosure on interest. I mean, it's a very big change. But that's one that I would think would be important to taxpayers. The second item I would mention for businesses who have business personal property. So that means like a business has tools or tables or chairs or any actual items that they use to produce or product or to handle their business is taxed. It doesn't include like items that they sell for retail, but the law used to make businesses pay the full year, even if they were 1 day late, which can be a very large tax bill. Now the legislature decided they're going to treat them the same as real property, so like a house, and that they'll get to be able to pay those taxes in 2 installments if they happen to fall behind on their payments. So I think those are the 2 biggest ones for this year. And there were some pretty major updates last year and in 2019 that impacted mobile homes. But since we have limited time today, I won't go into all of those changes.
So What do you see as some of the challenges for your office, and as well as some opportunities currently?
Challenges, the thing that keeps me up at night the most is cyber crime and what is happening to other government jurisdictions in terms of people being able to infiltrate their financial systems and wire or obtain money. So the cyber security and fraud prevention has been a really big initiative for my office. We want to make sure that we are being as diligent as possible to stop any bad actors from getting into our system and taking control of our accounts. So I would say for most local government, that's probably one of the top risk factors. Is just, we have limited IT staff. We don't have a ton of funds to constantly keep up with all the new technology. So sometimes our systems are running behind, and then you have really smart criminals out there that are constantly attacking and trying to get your information. So biggest risk is cybersecurity. We talk about it a lot in our office, and biggest opportunity, it's kind of interesting. On the flip side, there is a lot of emerging new technologies, especially in the financial sector. So for our team, it's really being able to stay up on system integration and making sure we can automate as much as possible to reduce the amount of staff time it takes to reconcile or to conduct a process. So we're in the middle of a full new bank implementation. We're moving away from Bank of America to Chase. And as a part of that, one of our core goals was not only additional fraud protection, but also how we can leverage their technology to increase the efficiencies in our office. So we went through quite a number of hours of process review and streamlining, and it's been a very good process for Clark County taxpayers. And in the end, it will save them money and we'll be saving our staff time.
When will the second half property tax statements arrive?
Always the question of the day. When will statements come out? So we are on track to have statements drop on September 17th. Before we mail statements, we would have to send a batch of the coupons that are attached at the bottom of the statement to our vendor who is processing those payments. So they haven't conducted testing yet. So keeping fingers crossed they get testing done this week. That will keep us on track for September 17th.
Okay. And what are some ways that people, I know you have options that people can reduce their property tax?
Yeah, that's, with the with the rate of tax increases, I get that question often. So the Clark County Assessor's Office manages the tax reduction programs, but just as a high level overview, the main ones that people might qualify for are the senior and persons with disabilities exemption. So if you are the age of 61 or older and you income qualify, you could receive a reduction in your property taxes. There's also a program for tax deferral, meaning you don't have to pay it now, but you will have to pay it later. But that's through the Department of Revenue, and the Clark County Assessor's Office also manages that program. Not a reduction in taxes, but I have implemented a program where if there are people that are struggling to make their tax payments, they can sign up for a payment plan, and that will allow them to make installment payments towards their property taxes so they don't have to come up with a lump sum. Again, doesn't reduce your taxes, but might make it a little easier to make those payments if you're not paying through escrow through your mortgage company.
Well, thank you very much. Now, if people want to check out your office and find out more information, where can they go?
So they should go to our website. It's been completely redone, and I feel as though it's a great resource. It's www.clark.wa.gov/treasurer. And I think
Great.
we put that on the screen too.
Yes, we'll put it on the screen. Well, thank you very much, and I really appreciate it, and good luck through the remainder of this second half of the property tax coming in.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been fun.